When it comes to your physical well-being, you often have a choice about heading to the ring. But working hurt and working injured, they are not the same. We're going to break down the difference and the consequences next. I'm Mike Quackenbush, and this is Till We Make It. If you are as passionate about the craft of professional wrestling as I am, then you've landed in the exact right place. What are you waiting for? Go ahead and join the Till We Make It tribe. Subscribe down below. In today's video, I want to define the difference between working hurt and working injured. And I think we need to have a real robust discussion about both so that you can better make choices about your physical well-being in advance of your next match, your next booking, that next tour you're thinking of accepting. And let's start with working hurt. In my experience, which is now more than 30 years in duration, that's how long I've been working in professional wrestling, it is an expectation that we all work hurt. I'm not here trying to defend that expectation. I just want you to know the expectation is that we work hurt. And what does that mean? If your body is hurting because it's sore, maybe you've got some bumps and some lumps, a black eye, a fat lip, you have some cuts or some bruises, you are hurt. Your body is hurt. But the expectation is, even if you have a black eye, even if you have a big lump on your head, you are going to the ring. Again, I'm not here to defend that. I'm just telling you that is the expectation in wrestling. You do not miss a booking. You do not miss an advertised appearance simply because you are hurting. So that is to say, all of us are called upon at different times in our careers to go to the ring knowing that our body is hurting. It is, for better or for worse, part of the job. So what I think you need to understand about working hurt, different from working injured, is this. If you were to cancel a booking because you are hurt, not injured, I do think, ultimately, this will reflect negatively on your professional reputation because it is such a long-standing expectation that wrestlers work hurt. If your body is bruised, maybe you've got a fresh cut on your head, and you cancel a booking because of it, I hate to tell you, I think it will have negative consequences for you. You do not want that as a reputation, that if you get a little banged up, you cancel your bookings. And I'm not trying to minimize what it is to be hurt. I just want you to understand the full implications here. I'm here with the real talk for you. Don't get angry at me down in the comments. I'm just trying to tell you, I think it will have a negative impact on you. Okay, I want to talk about working injured and maybe one related topic as well, something from my own career. But before we move on, please give me 1 second of your time and one tap of your finger and leave me a like-a-palooza down below. Thanks for the engagement. I sure need it. Back around 2008, I had a weird infection on my right arm. It was all over my forearm, too much to be covered by an elbow pad. And I was taking these horse pill-sized antibiotics for maybe 2 or 3 weeks that my dermatologist had prescribed. And this dermatologist forewarned me. He said, if you are sweating and your pores are open and you are in contact with another person who is sweating and their pores are open, you run the risk of infecting them. I could transmit this infection to someone else. And I don't know about you, but when your old pal Mike is wrestling, he sure sweats a lot. So there was a very high risk that I could pass this infection on to another working pro. And I felt like it would be irresponsible of me to go to the ring. Given this condition, at least for the 3 weeks it would take to clear up, I felt like this was not the right choice. And I want to add circumstances like this to the conversation as we define what it is to be working injured. To me, an injury is anything you need to seek active medical attention for. If you feel like, oh, the next time I'm at the doctor, maybe I should ask about this, that's not you actively seeking the attention. When you get put in an ambulance and taken to the ER, that is active medical attention. When you get out of the ring, grab your bag and say, I'm going to the urgent care right now to get x-rays, that is active. When you are seeking active medical attention for something, it doesn't have to have happened in the ring, of course, it can happen anywhere. You could be in a car accident or whatever. You could have a weird infection on your arm. It doesn't have to happen in the ring. But if you're getting active medical attention for it, I think this is probably classified as an injury. I want to share with you my real process, how I go about evaluating whether or not I'm going to keep my upcoming bookings in the wake of an injury, something that forces me to seek active medical attention. So the first of the three questions I ask is, am I able to perform? And in the case of a broken leg, no, I'm not able to perform. And that means that I'm going to be calling and texting and emailing all my upcoming bookings to let them know, unfortunately, I have broken my leg. I'm not going to be able to honor my bookings. I'm sorry for the inconvenience this causes, but, and then I'm going to open up this dialogue, is there anything I could supply to you? Like a promo that maybe stitches the story together to account for why I'm not going to appear. And I do know this is a little old school in its mentality, but provided you are able to travel, offering to make an appearance of some kind as a make good of sorts, that is to say, to show the public that you genuinely are injured. I am here. I have honored my obligation to the best of my physical ability. I'm here to sign autographs, take pictures, or whatever, but I'm unable to compete in the ring. I think that is a really classy and professional move. You are honoring the obligation to the best of your ability. Do you have to do this? No, you don't. And have a conversation with the person in charge about whether or not they feel that it's appropriate. But I do want you to know, I think that's a real possibility, provided you're well enough to travel. So you know how I would proceed if the answer to the question, am I able to perform because of this injury, is a no. But what if the answer to that question is a yes? Yes, I can perform and I'm willing to work injured. Well, the second question I ask as part of my process is, am I endangering my opponent at all if I'm working injured? And just to think back on that example I shared with you a moment ago, when I had the weird skin infection on my arm, well, in that case, yes, it would have been irresponsible of me to go to the ring. I was endangering them because once we started sweating, I could have transmitted the infection on my skin to them. So in that case, I feel like I need to cancel my booking. If I am endangering the person I am going to the ring with because of my injury, whatever shape that happens to take, I'm going to follow that same protocol. I'm going to jump on the phone, I'm going to send some messages and let them know, unfortunately, I have to cancel. If you're unable to perform, it's got to be a no. If you pose a danger to your opponent in the ring, it's got to be a no. But if you feel like I am able to perform with this injury and I do not pose a danger to my opponent, at this point, you need to move on to the last part of my process. Include the promotion that hired you in this decision. They will appreciate this show of respect rather than you making a unilateral decision without their involvement. And if you want to make sure you minimize the chances of there being any negative consequences from having to cancel a booking due to injury, just include them as part of that conversation.